A female inmate was able to smuggle drugs into the Missoula County Jail, including heroin that she apparently shared with other inmates. Commander Jason Kowalski said jail personnel noticed unusual behavior in the last few days, which was indicative of drug use. Kowalski said one of the drugs was definitely heroin and came into the jail in an unusual manner.
What I know that we found some residue of was heroin, and my understanding of it is the actual drugs that we did find came in a body cavity of a female inmate that came into our jail. You know, sometimes when inmates know they're going to come to the jail, they may try to hide those items in those places.
Kowalski said another female inmate was also able to smuggle drugs into the jail in an unusual manner as well.
One of our inmates has a leg amputation, and they hid the drugs in their prosthetic, within the tube that goes vertical in that leg. And they disassemble their own leg when they are in their cell and pull the drugs out of that tube. And my staff are just not trained to disassemble that leg.
Kowalski said the inmates are very creative when it comes to smuggling contraband into the jail. Returning to our top story, authorities have arrested a man suspected of shooting his estranged wife to death in southern Montana. The Bozeman Daily Chronicle reports 47-year-old Joseph DeWise was arrested yesterday on a charge of deliberate homicide stemming from the death of 35-year-old Lauren DeWise. He's being held in the Gallatin County Jail on $1 million bail. Sunday morning shooting in Belgrade also critically injured one of Lauren DeWise's roommates, 32-year-old Ashley Van Hemert. Investigators say another roommate who reported the shooting told them Lauren DeWise had recently moved in and had asked Joseph DeWise for a divorce. Booking documents do not indicate if DeWise has hired an attorney. Investigators say he has repeatedly denied any involvement in that fatal shooting. The federal government has denied Montana's disaster relief request for $44 million in the aftermath of the 2017 fire season that burned more than 1,500 square miles. Montana Public Radio reports the Federal Emergency Management Agency denied Governor Steve Bullock's request for additional aid in late December. The federal agency has already granted the state $11 million, covering some of the expenses for 8 different fires. Montana spent its entire 2-year, $60 million emergency fund for wildfire suppression in 1 year, using it up before last season ended. Attempts to reach a federal agency representative were unsuccessful. A representative from Bullock's office said the state does not anticipate appealing the request, but will work with the congressional delegation to search for other funding options. At a moving ceremony in Missoula yesterday, 53 Green Star flags were retired to commemorate the 53 local veterans who took their own lives. Outreach coordinator for the Missoula branch of RIVER, that's the Rural Institute for Veterans Education and Research, before the ceremony, Joshua Zacchaeus Colson described what would happen.
We're going to do just a brief playing of taps, and then we're going to have some of our veteran students just do a flag folding for them and a presentation of those flags to the families. The remaining flags are going to stick with us, and we're hopefully going to be doing this as a yearly type event.
Colson said 53 Green Star flags were posted outside the Garden City Funeral Home during the Christmas season to commemorate veterans' suicides.
As far as River's gone, it's always been kind of an organization that's been centered at mitigating veteran suicide. It's a huge issue here in Montana, just being as far as per capita, we're the highest veteran suicide rate in the nation. And as far as Missoula County goes, we're the highest county rate. So it's not a good claim to fame, but we're essentially the veteran suicide capital of the nation.
River is located on Tina Avenue in Missoula. Get more information on our website at newstalkkgvo.com. The Montana Board of Regents met in Helena yesterday. However, due to inclement weather and bad roads throughout the state, some regents were not able to attend. Spokesperson Blair Fiesieth said the meeting started at 8 a.m. and wrapped up just after 1 p.m.
They took the time to thank Sheila Stearns for her tremendous leadership at the UM this past year. That was really great to see, and just to thank her for her service. They also thanked Jane Baker. She's been the interim dean at the Helena College. She really stepped up for us there. And it was great because the new UM president, President Bodner, this was his first regent meeting.
Fiesieth said the regents also dealt with business stemming from the special session of the legislature.
November, the legislature had that special session, and because of that, there was a 1% cut to the general funding that goes to our campuses, but it was approved today, and so the reduction is roughly $2.2 million each year to our campuses. So for Missoula, that means that there's about $600,000 per year that's going to be cut.
Fiaziev said the campuses knew of the cuts and have planned accordingly. A commercial building in Montana designed by Frank Lloyd Wright has been demolished after negotiations aimed at saving the historic building failed. Developer Mick Ruiz had agreed to sell the former medical center at Whitefish for $1.7 million if a purchaser was found by this past Wednesday. The Chicago-based Frank Lloyd Wright Building Conservancy had attempted to negotiate a deal, but the Conservancy said the owner's terms did not provide realistic means to acquire the building. Attorney Ryan Purdy says his client listed the building for sale more than a year ago, giving ample time for groups to find a buyer. The brick building was designed by Wright in 1958, a year before he died. It was added to the National Register of Historic Places in 2012. 3 Montanans are on a prestigious short list of the world's most influential scientific minds after a publication in December by Clarivate Analytics. University of Montana Vice President for Research and Creative Scholarship Scott Wittenberg explains the rigor behind the research.
So it's related to the number of publications they do, but the part I like is the number of citations that other faculty members around the country and around the world, when they refer back to that publication from one of our faculty members. So it shows the broad-reaching impact of the research that these 2 faculty members have had around the world.
Of the 3 Montanans that made the list, 2 are professors at UM.
Ray Calloway, and he is within our Division of Biological Sciences. He's internationally recognized for invasive species. And the other is Steve Running, who is within a combination of DBS and forestry, and he's known for his work in climate change.
Michael Schwartz, the other Montanan to make the list, also has ties to UM, though he works at the U.S. Forest Service's National Genomics Center for Wildlife and Fish Conservation. He's an adjunct at UM's Wildlife Biology program. Our News Talk time now is 6:12.
Newstalk, KGVO.
Missoula's official weather station.
A wintry mix of rain and snow will be possible early today. Temperatures will warm into the mid-30s. A chance of a rain-snow mix becoming all snow tonight with little or no additional accumulation. I'm meteorologist Brooke Foster for Missoula's KECI 13.